Welcome to Stoppage Time with IPJ and my man, John Buckets. Hey, Buckets, we are so back, baby. How the hell are you, man?
Ian, I am doing fantastic. It was so nice to have this little bit of a break. It was so nice to continuously bet on England and Belgium and lose all my money over the break. But we're back. We're here with Stoppage Time. This is what matters. This is what the people have been asking for. Buddy, I've missed you so much. How have you been during this break?
Listen, I'm going to get into deep detail as to what the fuck I've been up to recently, but there's a more important question we have to ask, right? And that is exactly what the hell is going on with Buckets' dating life. We put a poll out there. We said, yo, what's the first question I should ask Buckets? Should it be about parlays? Should it be about the Euros? What's happened with Team USA? But everybody wants to know what's going on with your love life, baby.
I'm going to keep taking shots at England here. My love life for the past month has been as exciting as England's offense in Euros 2024. There is absolutely nothing going on in my love life. There's nothing to talk about here. I'm sorry to disappoint the listeners, IPJ, but I'm not doing anything right now. I'm too busy focused. I'm on the grind, baby.
Major competition means leave me the fuck alone to John Bucket Timer. Hey, listen, I know you've been busy. I know you've been out there. I know you've been active. And I got to tell you something. When I saw this video of you lifting weights, showing us exactly how strong you were, showing us your form, the activity, the strength that you possessed, it got me saying, wow. This guy is an absolute machine. So you put it out there on X. You put it for everybody to see your form, your strength, your power. I mean, talk to us about your weight training because I am super impressed with this.
It's actually funny because my weight training has gotten infinitely better since you introduced me to one of your buddies, Ken, who does a lot of Olympic lifting, does a lot of coaching for Olympic lifts. And I kind of decided that, listen, if I'm going to be betting, if I'm going to be sweating constantly already, watching all these stoppage time winners happening, waiting until the 90 plus 8th minute to cash a ticket, I might as well be getting in shape too. So I've been taking my fitness very seriously lately. I've been trying to be stronger. I've been trying to get bigger because I want to be the best and healthiest version of myself that I can be. Because Ian, as you know, this is a very stressful industry we work in. It's very exhausting. A lot of times people kind of forget their physical health to prioritize other things. But I'm not going to do that. I want to be strong. I want to live a good, happy life, and I want to be in shape. So that's what I'm pursuing here.
It just so happens that after watching this video, John Bucketsheimer, that I reached out to our guy, Mr. Ken Toll, my strength and conditioning trainer, and I shared your video, and I said to him, would you be able to critique John Bucketsheimer's form and let us know exactly what he's doing? Here is what our Ken said right about now.
What's up, Buckets? Great job on that deadlift PR. It's hard to tell from that angle, but might have been a little forward here. Make sure that shoulder stays on top of the bar. So that way we get a nice vertical deadlift there. But otherwise, love what you're doing. Keep training hard. And let me know if you ever need anything.
My guy, Ken Toll, thank you so much for sharing that video, Buckets. There you go. That is one of the world's best strength and conditioning trainers right there. Also a very good human being, Ken Toll. Just critiquing your form just a little bit there, but also giving you some pointers and telling you he's fucking proud of you, man.
Listen, Ian, it's the exact same. It's the exact same thing when I started working with you. When you work with one of the greats in any industry, when he gives you advice, you say thank you and you take it and you make yourself better because of it. Also, my word, he's such a strong dude. He lifted that like it was absolutely nothing. Just, hey, Buck, while having a conversation. No, when I'm lifting that kind of weight, I got headphones on. I'm doing a little bit of smelling salts. Nobody else exists in the world. I am in this. He doesn't need that. He's on a different level. But Ken, I appreciate you. Nothing but love for you, buddy.
You confused all our loyal listeners there with a little sniffle of the salts. Yeah,
Salts.
Jesus Buckets. Way to confuse the hell out of all of us. Now, listen, I'm honestly proud of you because I know what you're like. I know how you've been dealing with your mental health. I know how hard it is in our industry to be as great as we are, as active as we are. You've got to be able to be on top of your game away from the game, if that makes sense for people out there, the loyal listeners. And Buckets is the master at it. He does a great job getting away with the dog, getting away, meeting every now and again a female that he wants to have dinner with or pay for dinner for him, but also the strength and conditioning stuff, because I feel the same, Buckets. I train every single day because it does me the world of good. You know what else does me good? When I take a break from work, and I get to travel. John Buckenheimer, I've been on the road, baby. I went over to Scotland to celebrate my daughter Madison's 18th birthday. A few pictures for everybody out there. Hey, loyal listeners, be respectful. She's 18 years old. But yes, I spent a bit of time with Madison out in Scotland. We went to Edinburgh. I actually treated her buckets to her very first ever Louis Vuitton bag. I don't know if you know much about Louis Vuitton, do you? Because I know you're not really into your designer gear, are you?
I'm not really. I wear the same sweatpants and cutoff t-shirt 5 of the 7 days of the week, so I'm not the biggest design guy, but I've heard of Louis Vuitton. Said that right? Yep.
Yeah, you said it right, but also it's called Get Your Fucking Wallet Out and Spend a Lot of Money Vuitton, because that's exactly what happened. Got the first Louis bag for her. Hopefully it's some sort of inspiration in her life, and we had a fabulous time. And at 18 years old over in the UK, as you can see, she can drink, she can enjoy an alcoholic beverage. We went to Gleneagles, spent some time together. Good daddy-daughter time, basically, celebrating her 18th birthday. And then I went and played some golf with my very good friend Luis Garcia, Lucho Garcia, my 73-year-old father Brian, who's an avid listener of the show, loyal listener right there, and also my best mate from high school, Colin, and elementary school as well. Colin, he came out, I hadn't seen him for about 10 years, and we played golf together. It was absolutely brilliant. It was a memory I will never, ever forget, and it went pretty well. But just to break it all down for everybody as to why I went over and played golf with Luis Garcia, because this is a quick, pretty cool story. We made a wager, Buckets, and you'll remember this one because it was on HQ. You weren't a part of the show, but I made a wager with Lucho Garcia when Erling Haaland moved to Manchester City, and it was the first time ever I made Luis Garcia swear on air. I've done that to many people, but it's the first time I made Luis Garcia swear. I basically made a wager and said to him, hey, you know what? I think Erling Haaland's going to break a record this year. And he said, you know how fucking hard it is to score goals in the Premier League, Ian? I said, well, let's put some money on it, Lucho Garcia. So we did. What we did was he said, okay, if he gets to 25 goals, then the loser has to pay for the winner to play golf anywhere in the world. Of course, Erling Haaland went on to break an English Premier League record and score 25 goals before Christmas. Therefore, by the way, I was texting him every single goal Erling Haaland scored. I texted him every single time and said, there's one, there's two, there's 25. And this was it. He paid for the round of golf at Gleneagles, which was not cheap, but it was an experience and a memory in my life that I will take with me forever, Bucket. So to say the long story short, it's been a great vacation, man. It's been great to have a break. I apologize to the loyal listeners, but me and Buckets needed it. And Buckets, I've got a feeling you're back, you're fresh, and you're ready to go, baby.
I'm ready to go, man. I am a big Lucho Garcia fan. Ian, the first time I ever did a show with you was a Champions League special with CBS that featured you, Jimmy Conrad, and Lucho Garcia. And I apologize to Lucho here. Is it sangria or margaritas that he drinks? I know it rhymes with his name.
Sangria.
Sangria. Okay, he drinks sangria and he pays for IPJ to go golfing. I love to hear it, man. My break was great. It was mostly just relaxing. I did a bunch of hiking, a lot of outdoor stuff, kind of just staying active on my end, get away from the screens, kind of refresh my eyes. But I'm back. I'm ready to bet absolutely everything for the next 8 months, probably.
Oh, we are so back. We are so back. It's going to be a lot longer than 8 months. It's going to be a good 10 months of action right about now. We may have a little break in between the Euros, Copa America, and the domestic season starting again, but things have been pretty active. So let's get into it. Euro 2024 is underway over in Germany. The group stage is actually over already. Unfortunately, we kind of missed the group stage, which was great because that's the time we decided to take vacation. But I want to ask you, Buckets, before I show everybody where we are with the groups, where we are with the knockout stages. Exactly how many units are you up or down from the Euros so far?
I am down on the Euros. It's honestly probably good we didn't do shows because I have been getting my butt whooped the past couple days.
Whew.
In cross Euro betting, I'm currently down 11 units in the group stage. You know I don't hide from that, Ian, but I will take those on the chin because it's my fault for trusting England, for trusting France, for trusting Belgium, for trusting Croatia to score goals because outside of a couple big teams here, we haven't seen a lot of action from the top teams that were expected to produce a lot of these impressive results so far.
It's unfortunate that you're 11 units down. The Joy Boys 55 units up on the Euros so far. Keeping it quiet has been pretty good for me. Let's go through the groups right now. We begin with Group A. Germany finish top of the group. They've got 7 points. Switzerland on 5 points. Hungary third and 3 points. And the unlucky Scotland, who lost 5-1 on the opening day to Germany, end up with 1 point. On the final match day, Scotland lost to Hungary in dramatic fashion, and Germany and Switzerland tied. We go to Group B. It was Spain who topped the group on 9 points. They were absolutely unbelievable. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think they conceded a goal yet. Italy were second on 4 points. Croatia were third on 2 points. Albania on 1 point. The final match day saw Croatia won, Italy won, a dramatic Zaccagni equalizer in the 98th minute. Stoppage time has been clearly evident in this competition so far. Albania lost to Spain on the final match day by a 0-0. England's Group C. England are top of the group on 5 points. Denmark on 3 points. Slovenia on 3 points, and Serbia on 2 points. Pretty impressive considering the fact that England have been pretty much shit so far this competition, even though they're on an emphatic run right now. We go to Group D, where Austria, this was pretty much one of the more difficult groups to predict. Austria finished top of the group on 6 points. France finished second on 5 points. The Netherlands finished third on 4 points, and Poland out of the competition on match day 2 on 1 point. The final match day was dramatic. Netherlands lost by 3-2 against Austria, and France conceded a penalty kick in the second half and ended the game 1-1. That one transferred and changed from who was going to win the group to who was going to qualify. It was pretty crazy, and who was going to play who in the knockout stages. It was a crazy final match day in Group D. Group E was pretty interesting as well. It was the only time in history, and it is the only time in history, that all 4 teams ended up on 4 points, which is really crazy. Romania topped the group on 4 points, Belgium second on 4 points, Slovakia on 4 points, and Ukraine go out of the competition on 4 points. Final match day saw Slovakia 1, Romania 1, Ukraine 0, and buckets is Belgium 0. In the final group, Group F, it was Portugal on 6 points, Turkey on 6 points, Georgia on 4 points, and Czechia on 1 point. And I don't think we're allowed to say Turkey anymore. I think we've got to say Turkey. That's a new name. Apparently, you can just fucking change your name whenever you want. So, Buckets A, they're going to change your name now as well. That's how that group finished up. Czechia 1, Turkey 2 in the final match day. It was a pretty cool finish to that game. Georgia 2 and Portugal 0. What an awesome goal from Kvicha Kvaratskhelia in that game. But pretty impressive. Buckets, this is how the knockout rounds are sitting right now. Okay, so we have Switzerland against Italy, Germany against Denmark, England against Slovakia, Spain against Georgia, France against Belgium, Portugal against Slovenia, Romania against Netherlands, and Austria against Turkey. Yay. Your impressions, first and foremost, from the group stage and what we're looking at in the knockouts.
Well, I want to applaud you, first of all, for being up not only any units, but 55 units on the group stage, because the group stage was a bit of a mess. When we look at teams like France, like England, like Croatia, like Belgium, all these teams I've mentioned, they're over under for goals over 3 matches at the group stage. France, 6.5, England, 7.5, Croatia, 5.5. None of those teams performed near what we thought we would. So it was fun kind of betting on some of these smaller teams, looking at teams like Turkey. Is that what you said? We say it now?
Yep.
Turkey. All right, watching Turkey put up 5 goals and Arda Güler looking fantastic with that side. Watching teams like Austria win a group with France and Netherlands. Watching teams like Serbia, who have a lot of good strikers, be the worst scoring team in the entire tournament. It was an absolute mess for a lot of people, but I am extremely excited for the knockout stages because I think we are going to have a little bit more consistency of those matches. But I also want to applaud specifically Spain, who looked, for me, by far the best team in the group stages. Not only did they not concede a goal, they were the only team to win all 3 of their matches. They look incredible right now. But also Germany, finally looking like a team that wants to be here. Finally looking like a team that isn't afraid to play some aggressive footy. It made me happy to watch them play. Even though they did draw 1-1 in that last one, this is a team that looks very strong to me, and I'm excited to see how they perform in the next round.
You know, I think one of the reasons why we've seen the inconsistency with results and major teams or big teams, favorites, whatever it may be that you want to call them, struggle sometimes throughout these competitions is because a lot of the third place teams are qualifying. I mean, they had a lot to play for, these third place teams. So every single game pretty much meant something. You couldn't really rest players, although you wanted to rest players. I'm not a fan of the third place teams going through. I really am not. I think it's miserable. I think you're basically giving a medal to every player that's out there. I'm not a fan of that. I'm a winner. I like to win. If I lose, I don't want your fucking medal. Shove your medal up your ass. I don't want anything to do with it. I want to win and I want to see winners only. That's where I'm at. But it's hard not to enjoy the fact that teams like Georgia and fucking Slovenia, Austria, I mean, they're a bigger nation, but, little nations actually having success and seeing what it means to their supporters. But I can't look past the fact that Georgia, who qualified in Scotland's group, by the way, they were lucky. They came through a different route to qualify. They lost to Scotland in the group play 2-0. And the next day, they lost 7-1 to Spain. And now all of a sudden they're in the knockout rounds against Spain. I mean, it's pretty hard for me to get enthusiastic about something like that, except for the fact that Kvicha Kvaratskhelia is playing in the game and they played pretty well against Portugal. I don't like this format. I don't want to see it in the World Cup, but unfortunately, Buckets, that's what we're going to see. I'm really intrigued to hear what you've got to think about best bets, because I know you're down a little bit, but the knockout stages are going to be a little bit more easier, I would imagine, to predict. Certainly you would expect the best players to be playing. Certainly you would expect the best 11s to be selected. So it wouldn't be a show of stoppage time if we didn't get some best bets from our betting expert. That is right, the blonde bombshell, the betting expert unicorn, John Bucketsheimer. Welcome back, Buckets. It's the big time. Today we're going Euro heavy for the loyal listeners, Buckets. I want multiple bets from you. I'm looking for a best bet for each of the knockout round days. Not games, days. So on Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, there's 2 games each day. I just want your best bet for each day. I'm also looking at a future play from you for the Euros as well, if that's possible. And Copa America is going on right now, so I'm going to pick up a Copa America best bet from you as well. So Buckets, we begin on Saturday, where Switzerland are taking on Italy and Germany are taking on Denmark.
You don't even have to ask me where I'm going. I'm looking at that match between Germany and Denmark. And real quick, Ian, I want to shout out my biggest hit of Euros so far was a plus 900 where I bet Nicholas Füllkrug to score after he subbed in the 75th minute, which he's consistently doing. So he probably won't start behind Havertz here, but when he subs in the 70th minute, keep your eye out for a live play on Füllkrug. He has been a machine recently. For this matchup, for Germany, for Denmark, I'm looking at goals in this one, and I'm looking specifically at German goals here. I know that Germany didn't look great against Switzerland, but this was a team that in my mind was kind of already looking ahead. They were doing that thing that we've seen a lot of these big teams do when they secure a spot, and that's, hey, play for the draw. Play for the 1-1. We don't need to focus. We don't need to risk injury. We could just play this a little bit more passive, but you don't do that when you're in the knockout stage, and you don't do that when you are the host nation taking on Denmark. I'm taking Germany over 1.5 team total, priced at minus 125, because Germany can score 2 against everyone, and especially when you're against Denmark, no disrespect to Denmark, 125 is a silly line for a German squad that might score 3 or 4 here. Maybe have some fun with the ladder action. Maybe look at a couple different angles, like just over goals in general here. If you do think that Denmark will score, real quick kind of heads up, the books don't. Both teams to score is plus 110 here. So it could be a little bit tricky. But Ian, I think Germany get at least 2 here. And I think one of those will come from Füllkrug after the 70th minute as well.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I mean, I fancy the line as well. I'd still like to see Germany play a lot better because they haven't necessarily been playing their best football, except against Scotland, where they looked awesome, against Hungary, where they were, weaker opposition. And then a more difficult game towards the end of the group, I think, against Switzerland, they were kind of found out a little bit. So this game against Denmark is going to be an interesting one for them. Going through the previous head-to-head games, there hasn't been too many between the two nations. Back in 2021, it was Germany won, Denmark won. Back in 2017, it was Denmark won, Germany won. And then we did get a Euro Group B in 2012 where Denmark won, Germany 2 was the scoreline. So that favors you there in competitive action. And back in 2010, it was 2-2. So 3 draws over the last 4 games. Both teams to score has hit in those last 4 games. And then Germany, over 1.5 team total, hit in the first 2 games back in 2010 and 2012, the one competitive game as well. Listen, to me, it's a no-brainer. Germany scoring more than 1 goal, they're going to have to, because Denmark can score at any time. So Germany have got to score multiple goals here. I'm looking forward to seeing the attendance. I'm looking forward to seeing Denmark fans coming down because they border Germany. So you're going to see a lot of Danish fans turning up to watch this game, and it's going to be a cracker to watch. And I want to see a very good Germany, because if Nagelsmann gets it right with Germany, they are still one of the favorites, even though right now they're not my favorite to win. I think they can get to the semifinals if they're lucky, but they're not my favorite to win. So let's get a scoreline prediction for both games, Buckets. We'll begin with Germany against Denmark, and then I want your scoreline prediction for Switzerland and Italy.
For Germany versus Denmark, I'm going for a 3-1 victory to Germany. So I do like both teams to score. I do like the over in that one. For Switzerland, Italy, this one scares me a little bit just because Italy can play very defensive. And like we saw with Switzerland, they can park and do the same. I'm actually going for a 1-1 draw in this one at the end of regulation. And I do think that Italy will get through eventually, but this one's going to be very cagey for me.
That Zacagna late equalizer in the last group game for Italy was something special, wasn't it? What a great finish that was. Did you make some money on that game, or did you lose some money on that game?
I lost money on that game because I had Italy losing that game. So, yeah, Croatia's not been my friend. Italy's not been my friend. I've had very few friends in the group stages.
55 units up, baby. 55 units up. Let's go to Sunday. We've got a couple of cracking games, except two favorites going into these games. We have England against Slovakia and Spain against Georgia. Obviously, heavy favorites, both England and Spain. Where is the main man? Jump bucket timer going.
The main man is taking us to some sexy plus odd numbers for this one because Ian already touched upon my bet here without even knowing it. I'm looking at Spain versus Georgia. I'm looking at Spain being the best team so far in this competition, and I'm looking at a bloodbath in this one. Spain, the last two times they played Georgia, did win 7-1 and also won 3-1 the last two times they played them. Spain has been the most impressive team for me in all of Euros. They have been the team that has looked the best offensively, the best defensively. All around, they've just been the best team here. So the fact that I can get Spain, and albeit it's risky, so bet responsibly, but Spain to score 2 goals in the first half at plus 210, I will take that all day for a team that has scored 10 in their last 2 fixtures against Georgia. I do think that Georgia will play a bit more defensively and try to grind this one out to a slow start, but I don't know if Spain's going to let them do that. This might be the kind of matchup to where Spain says we are going to be up 3-0 at halftime and then rest our guys for the further future knockout stages. Spain has just been too good for me not to back. And at plus 210, it is a bit of a long shot, Ian, but I don't think I'm far off on this one.
No, you're not, especially when they put 3 in the first half against Croatia on match day 1 in the back of the net. I mean, they can do this against this Georgia side who defensively have been a bit vulnerable, offensively have been okay. I mean, Georgia haven't been their best, but yet qualified through the group stage. And I think in dramatic fashion against Portugal, nobody expected them to get that victory against Portugal, but they scored 2 minutes in after a defensive error. So, yeah, listen, I think Spain go early for this game. I think Spain go for multiple goals early on in the first half. So I support this bet. And I'm going to get a prediction from you. Obviously, England seem to have been a team that's hurt you so far in this competition. Buckets. They play Slovakia. So let's get a prediction first and foremost from Spain against Georgia. And then let's discuss England against Slovakia real quick.
Let's do it. I'm going to go with Spain, Georgia, 4-1. I think both teams to score keeps hitting for them, but Spain is just too good right now. And I do think eventually they have to concede that first goal. By the time Georgia's down 2-0, 3-0, at that point you say screw it and go for something. So a big win there for Spain, but we do see goals on both sides. England, Slovakia, I'm going to go with a 1-0 correct score priced at plus 450 for England. England's going to go up 1-0 in the first 15 minutes and then do absolutely nothing the rest of the game. Ian, let's talk about that one a little bit.
Yeah, what do you make of all the criticism that Gareth Southgate's doing? I think they're on a 16-game unbeaten run. They didn't concede many goals. Their defense is fucking awesome, and yet they're still getting absolutely hammered by the British media and by fans around the world that they're not playing good enough soccer. Yet they went through top of their group, and yeah, they don't want to. I think they're a team that you don't want to play, right?
I think they're a great team, and I think the criticism, some of it is unnecessary and is too aggressive. But I think you also have to look at the talent that this team has in attack and ask why they can't score against teams like Slovenia and why they're only scoring one in the rest of their matches. This is a team that, on paper, and when you look at that, they have Harry Kane, Phil Foden, Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham. This is a team you think would score 3 or 4 against anyone, and I think that's where the criticism comes from: is why are we slowing down after getting that first goal? Why are we drawing against Denmark? Why are we drawing against Slovenia? I think this is just too much attacking talent to be winning games 1-0. And even though they're winning, I think that's where a lot of the criticism is probably stemming from.
Spot on, Buckets. Great analysis right there. Let's go to Monday. We've got France against Belgium, one of the more anticipated games in the knockout stages, and then Portugal against Slovenia. I've got a feeling you're going to the big one, Buckets. Where are you going?
I am going to the big one. I'm going to that matchup between Portugal and Slovenia, Ian, because for me, that's where the big one lies. I don't know how to bet on Belgium. I don't know how to bet on Belgium. I have tried again and again. I have watched Lukaku, anytime goal scorer, hit and be taken back by VAR, hit and be taken back by VAR time and time again. And I can't do it anymore, Ian. I am an emotional, tender, sweethearted guy, and I can't keep getting screwed by this Belgium team. So instead, I'm going to go to Portugal, Slovenia, and I'm going to have fun with this one because we're supposed to have fun when we're betting on football. Give me both teams to score in this one at plus 125. It's a long shot. The books say there's no way that Slovenia can score, but you got to look at a Slovenia side that understands that they are the heavy, heavy underdogs, and a Slovenia side that probably thinks they're a bit lucky to still be here at this point. When you are this much of an underdog, you have nothing to do. There's no pressure. You have to go out there, you have to go for goals, and you understand that if you want to beat Portugal, you cannot do that defensively. You can't sit back and play Portugal right now for this 0-0. I know that Portugal's had some rough matches, but overall the talent is just way too great right now. I think Portugal win this game, but I think that once they go up 2-0, we will see Slovenia get that one goal to give them that little piece of glory to bring to their fans here, Ian. And again, I just don't know how to bet on Belgium, so I am staying far away from that one in the betting space.
Buckets relying on Benjamin Sheshko turning up and scoring a goal, aren't
Yeah.
you? He's looking pretty good, I'm not going to lie.
It
Plus, they
really is.
also drew every single game, which is so impressive in that group. That wasn't easy, and getting a 0-0 against England in the closing stages was super impressive. So congratulations to them. Love the play, love the bet, love the play. Portugal, I think on match day 3, they changed 8 different players, so they're going to come back with a much more stronger, determined team, and I think Portugal win that game comfortably. And they might be one of my favorites, actually, Buckets, but they were poor on match day 3, so anything can happen. Let's get a prediction because France against Belgium is an absolute tasty match. So I think you've pretty much talked enough about Portugal. We know where you're leaning here, but give us a scoreline prediction, and then let's go to that France-Belgium game. Talk about that.
Portugal, Slovenia. I'm going to go with a 2-1 victory for Portugal in that one. And then when I'm looking at France, Belgium, this is a very hard one for me, as I've mentioned, to bet on, but also to give a score prediction because it's two teams that do boast some of the best attacking offenses in Europe. We've got a match with Kylian Mbappe going against Romelu Lukaku, Kevin De Bruyne assisting on the Belgium side. France have Griezmann. They've got Giroud off the bench. These are two amazing attacking teams that have seen very low-scoring games. So I'm actually going with another low-scoring matchup here, Ian. I'm going for either a 1-0 victory to France or a 1-1 draw with France still advancing. I'm having a hard time with this one. Do you see something different happening?
I find it hard to predict this one, but Belgium have not been playing well enough for me to support them. France were poor in their final match game. At the same time, I think they played Poland in their final game. It was poor. Mbappe, broken nose, rested for one of those games. He finally scored a European Championship goal. It took him, I think, ridiculous amount of games. It was like 600 minutes or 700 minutes of action or something stupid. It was crazy. And he still hadn't scored a goal. And now he's all of a sudden scored a goal in the European Championship. So eventually taking that pressure off your shoulders tells me that Mbappe plus 135 anytime goal score is not a bad look in that game. And that's really France's hope, in my opinion, because I don't see enough from Marcus Thuram and Antoine Griezmann. They're not really performing well yet. But I feel like at some point France are going to really switch it on, and it might be in this Belgium game. Buckets, did you see the video at the end of the Belgium game where their own fans booed them and Kevin De Bruyne said, "Fuck them, let's walk off the field"? Did you see that?
No, I missed that.
I'll see if I can get producer Jeff to put it in there. Um, it was amazing. Like, basically what happened was they were going to applaud their fans at the end. You know, obviously they didn't get the result. It was 0-0. It was a boring game. They go to applaud their fans, you know, as teams do. And of course, this is a national team, and their fans booed them. So Kevin De Bruyne then said, "Fuck you," and just started to pull his whole teammates all off the field. You can see him just storm off the field, telling everyone, "Let's go, let's go, let's get off the field." It's absolutely insane. But yeah, that was something that I think is in the back of my mind going up against France. I've got France winning and Portugal winning there. Let's go to Tuesday because this is a difficult one to predict. Two great games. We've got Romania against the Netherlands. We've got Austria against Turkey. And I have no idea where you're going here, but the Netherlands clearly let me down in that final match day against Austria. Where are you going?
I've got two bets for this game, actually, when I'm looking at the matchup between Austria and Turkey. Yep, that's right. I've already caught on to the new name. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Two bets here. And the first one's just going to be the classic. I'm looking at the buckets, both teams to score at -125. It's a little bit of juice here, but I'm looking at a Turkey team that plays football the way that Buckets likes football to be played. They don't care about defense. They have their foot on the gas 110% all the time. And they had 5 goals scored and 5 allowed over their 3 matches. This is a team that understands that their defense is not good enough to win games. So they have to score 2 goals if they want to make that happen. Austria did look incredible, topping that group with France and Netherlands, but Austria still is likely to leak that 1 goal. They conceded a goal to Poland. We saw them concede 4 goals over those 3 games. These are 2 teams that I think just don't have the defenses currently to stop either team from scoring. So I like both teams to score. I would go a full unit on that one at -125. And a bit of a sneaky one here. I am a big Arda Güler fan now. I think Arda Güler is an incredible player to watch. He's a fun guy, and he's not afraid to absolutely rip it outside of the box. If he's starting, him to score is currently priced at +340. And what that means is, even though the shot markets aren't available, once the shot markets are available closer to game day, his single shot on target is going to be playable hovering around that +110. That's usually what we see that translate from +300 to +100 goal to shot market. So look to play that as well here, but I'm going to throw a half unit on Güler to score just because he's been so much fun for me.
Love that. Gula was brilliant. What a great goal he scored in match day 2, by the way. That was an absolute banger of a goal. I may or may not have made some units. And I'm just going to be clear with everybody out there. I said I'm up 55 units. I've been playing larger unit size bets because I haven't been betting as regularly. I've not been wanting to bet as much as frequent, like small units, 1 unit. Normally, I like to stick around the 1 unit. In major competition, as many of you know from our early on days in the World Cup in 2022, we played some big bets. In the World Cup final, I played 10 unit bets, and I was enjoying just having that one bet. If it hits, I hit big. If it doesn't hit, I lose big. And in many ways, if you're good at what you do, you can have a lot of success. So I've been playing a lot of larger unit sized bets and having a lot of success. But I know a few people out there who have lost badly doing that. So be very careful. Bucket scoreline prediction from you: Romania, Netherlands, Austria, Turkey. I like the bets.
I've got Netherlands winning 2-0 against Romania. Finally, one where I'm leaning an under and both teams not to score. But Austria-Turkey, I think, is going to be a slugfest. I'm actually going for a 2-2 draw in that one, and I'm going to go for it. I think that Turkey will get past Austria here. Turkey A will get past Austria here.
Tough prediction that though, Buckets, because
Yeah.
Austria have been one of the more tactically astute teams in the competition so far. Ralf Rangnick, and then Baumgartner has been excellent on the left-hand side. Zabitzer's looked awesome. I mean, Otonovic, he looks good. I mean, they look like they're a weapon of a team, Austria. And I think they get past Turkey. I really do. And Turkey is a good side, but that final match day disappointed me. I didn't see enough from them, even though they won the game in the closing stages. Romania and Netherlands is another one that's hard for me to predict. I like the Netherlands. I think their team's stacked, but Romania have really shown me heart, passion, determination, and desire. That sometimes is hard to overcome. Very similar to Austria. Heart, passion, quality, desire, tactical approach. Romania have exactly that. I don't know if you ever saw the comments. We did it on Scoreline yesterday on my show on CBS Sports. And the Romanian coach came out afterwards in his press conference and said, "Hey, you motherfuckers all owe us an apology. Every single one of you fucking idiots predicted that we would finish bottom of the group. So fucking apologize to me and my players because you all know nothing about the game. Ha ha ha. We finished top of the group." Romania were fucking awesome, Bucks. They were brilliant to see. Dragusin, the defender, my God, he plays for Spurs, but wow, he has looked absolutely fantastic. And Hadji, one of my favorite players ever all time, his son was playing for Romania recently as well. Buckets, I've got a little cheeky parlay I want to throw at you and for the loyal listeners out there. I'm not providing picks, but I'm going to go on this one here. I'm looking at England and Portugal money line parlay together. It takes you to -103. England on the money line is -250. Portugal on the money line is -245. I just think England turn up and put out a better performance. They need to in the knockout stages, of course, going up against Slovakia. So I have them as clear favourites. Portugal against Slovenia, I think Buckets is on the same thing as well. So I have both of them parlayed together. It gets me close to plus numbers, -103. What are you thinking?
I am putting that in as we speak. I am placing that wager here live on the show. I think it's a fantastic look. And England is in that kind of that position where even though they've been tricky for me to bet on, it's do or die now, right? You don't get to keep playing slow and making mistakes. You got to show up. And as Ian has mentioned, even though they're not scoring a ton, this is a team that is winning consistently. What I might do, Ian, is even throw Spain in there just to get that to plus numbers. That will be a
Yep.
personal choice. But I love England, Portugal. I've got both of those teams winning outright.
Spain minus 500 on the money line as well just gets you into plus numbers. So Bucket's clearly just wanting to see that plus next to the number. Let's get to your futures pick, Buckets, because I know the Euros has been pretty sexy for you. Disappointing so far as to how the hell we predict this one. I missed out on France not finishing top of their group on a really nice 4-team parlay top of the group. Didn't happen for me because of France fucking things up on the final match day against Poland. But here's how things sit right now as far as the winner for team futures. England are still favourites at plus 350, Spain plus 450, Germany plus 550, France plus 600, Portugal plus 700, the Netherlands at plus 1200, Italy, the holders at plus 1600, Austria, the outsiders at plus 1600, Belgium have dropped down to plus 3000, and Switzerland also plus 3,500. The rest are not getting a mention because they've got no chance of winning it.
So I've got a couple futures I want to go over with you. Before the tournament even started, of course, I was backing Germany, so I'm not going to double down. And frankly, the number is still the same there around plus 500. So for me, this isn't something I'm confident enough to double down on. What I will say is there are two other teams I'm looking on. I'm looking at Spain, currently at plus 400. I have not included them yet. I'll probably play that per unit. And I'm kind of with IPJ here on Portugal. Plus 700 for a team, for Ronaldo's last hurrah, whatever you want to call it. They've looked good. I know that last match day they didn't really do much, but frankly, they didn't need to. I know we don't like saying that, but that loss did not affect them in the standings, and this Portugal side has impressed me. I do not think you should put money on England at plus 350, but Spain, Germany, and Portugal are all shouts that I'm willing to take here, Ian.
I love it, Buckets, but I want to also point out here that you can make money, as Buckets pointed out there, going forward. To get to the semi-final, Portugal are currently sitting at plus 140. To reach the final, Buckets, Portugal are currently sitting at plus 400. So if you take the information from what we're trying to tell you here, that we both fancy Portugal, we both think that they're a team that you can be worried about, threatened about, Buckets getting to the semi-final plus 140, getting to a final plus 400, would you go on any of those?
I would take all of them. I would do kind of a weird little ladder here where it's your smallest unit is them to win, a little bit more on them to make the final, and a full unit on them to reach the semis. I think that's a great shout.
Does it change your mind by the fact that if they do get past their next game, they would play either France or Belgium in the quarterfinal?
No, it doesn't. I do not have confidence in Belgium. We know I'm not dealing with Belgium. France is going to be tricky, but no, I think it's definitely worth a shout. I've been impressed with Portugal. Ian, I want to run something by you real quick. Just a little humble brag as someone that has admitted to being down units in this competition. I gave
Yep.
out at the beginning of Euros Nicholas Fulkrug Golden Boot at plus 3,800. He's plus 1,000 now. Probably won't get it because he's not starting for some reason, Nagelsmann, but it is funny to see the Golden Boot market still kind of alive and kicking because there hasn't been anyone that's really taken control of this competition so far.
Yeah, it's the kid from Georgia, Miko Tadze, who's leading the way, if I'm not mistaken. On like he's got like a goal in every single game. He's got 4 goal involvements. He's blowing it away. There's been 7 own goals, I think, already in this competition. So that's another possible play you can look at if you're looking for prop bets, own goals in these games. Buckets. It's been pretty crazy. Any more futures coming from you, or are you happy with where you're at?
I'm pretty happy with where I'm at. One more one that I will just look on is if you're looking at Spain to reach the finals, that's currently at plus 225 as well. I'm big on Spain and Portugal, and I'm biasly big on Germany. So just kind of keeping it within those three clubs.
Well, Spain would face Germany in the quarterfinal if they do get
Yeah.
past Georgia, and obviously Germany get past Denmark. So one of those big nations will most likely not be anywhere near the semifinal, which is absolutely crazy. I do love the bracket format. I'm enjoying the fact that we can kind of see our path to the final. Okay, let's talk Copa America before we get the hell out of here, Buckets. I got some funny videos I want to show you as well. Copa America is going underway, obviously, here in the United States of America right now. Argentina, 2 victories from 2 so far from them. Lionel Messi just got hurt in his game. Looks like he might miss that final match day. They've only scored 3 goals so far, not conceded. They're up against Canada, Chile, and Peru. Group B has Venezuela, top of the group on 6 points, already qualified. Ecuador second on 3 points, Mexico on 3 points, and Jamaica out on 0 points. Group C has Uruguay, USA, Panama, and Bolivia. I'm not going to mention where they're at right now because as we record the show, there will be games taking place this evening. And then in Group D, it's Colombia, Brazil, Costa Rica, and Paraguay. Buckets, I asked you to just bring me up your best bet. That's something to look forward to over this weekend with Copa America, because I want our Latino fans, I want our CONCACAF fans, CONMEBOL fans out there to enjoy our show as well. So is there anything that catches your attention in Copa America?
There are a couple things I want to do, and one of them, and I'm realizing this might not be helpful, is for the Uruguay match tonight. So I do want to touch on that just to see how I do in the future, because this is something I also want to continue to bet. Darwin Nunez, anytime goal scoring ladders, is something that is a must play for me. Anytime you see Uruguay in action, he only had one goal in the last match, but he did have 3 shots on target and 6 shots total. He is a dude that is just launching, so keep an eye on him. He's been absolutely incredible to watch there, but that doesn't help because this show will not be out at the time that match is played. So I am going to look at that last fixture between Argentina and Peru, because we are expecting Messi to be out. There's 2 different guys I'm looking at for this Argentina side. One of them is Julian Alvarez, anytime goal scorer, is currently priced at plus 160. His to score or assist is plus 105 if you still want to get those nice juicy plus odds with a little bit of a safety net. But I'm looking at him to do some serious damage, or Lautaro Martinez to do some damage. He has been off of the bench twice and has been giving that full Krug treatment where he comes in and scores in the last 10 minutes. Those are 2 guys I just really want to keep an eye out. I'm not sure how the starting 11 will shape out in this game, but if either of those 2 are starting, I will bet them to score every single time, Ian.
Love it, Buckets. And as you say tonight, you obviously mean what day?
Thursday night, June 27th.
So as you're all watching this, will not be that night. So thanks for everybody. Enjoy the game. Hope you enjoyed the result as well. I just want to break down something real quick, because you pointed out Darwin Nunez. I'm not a big fan of his consistency and efficiency when it comes to shots, right? I wanted to look at his productivity in the Premier League for Liverpool. 108 shots he took this season for Liverpool. 108 shots. Buckets, if I was to give you a number, maybe I'll do this. What would you say, how many shots from 108 that he got on target? How many did he get on target?
It's going to
108 he took.
It's going to be an embarrassing number. I'm going to go with 30.
46 he got on target. So it's just less than a shot every 2 shots on target. How many goals did he score in the Premier League this season, Buckets?
Oh, not a lot.
11 goals. So 108 shots, 46 on target, 11 goals. Efficiency is not good enough from him. He needs to be better. You know what he does do, Buckets, and I do agree with you here, is he gets himself into some great positions to score goals. He just needs to fucking hit the target and actually do it. Great team, well coached. Definitely one of my favorites to go all the way to the final. So I'm really intrigued. Obviously, that final match day is coming up. People out there enjoying our show now against Uruguay for the USA. It'll be a real good test for the USA to see exactly how good they are. Buckets, thanks for that. Thank you for touching upon Copa America. If everybody out there, the loyal listeners, want more Copa America, let us know, because I know we're all pretty much getting into the competition. But Euro 24 has caught our attention in more ways than one, John Bucketimer. And I know this guy, the German supporter, Mr. Sachs, has really caught your attention, Buckets. Tell me exactly why you love this guy, what he's doing to you. Do you wake up to this? Is this your alarm clock? I mean, it's pretty awesome.
He's the player of the tournament for me. He's been better than Lukaku. He's been better than Kai Havertz. He's been better than Ronaldo. None of that matters. This is the guy that has made the biggest impact across Euros so far. It's just the energy. It is the vibe that he gives off. He is the guy that when I'm in the gym lifting 300 pounds like it's butter, like it's nothing, I got this blasting through my headphones. I know you said you've got the clip here, Ian, but I just love everything about this. I feel like it's the embodiment of the German fan base here supporting with him.
Yeah, listen, obviously you can see Buckets is really enthralled by this one. So take a look at this. This is Mr. Sachs just enjoying the moment, getting fans riled up, embracing it. Clearly the saxophone is awesome. This guy knows how to get a party started. Buckets, this is awesome. This is what the Euros is all about, right?
Oh, absolutely, man. I mean, look at that. It is a support and a representation of the culture for these countries. And I've loved watching fans celebrate together. I've loved watching fans have fun and playing around. And I just love this song so much.
We need to get over to the Euros at some point, because, I mean, videos like this are what get me excited, right? I mean, could you imagine me and you in the mix with our Germany shirts on, enjoying moments like this? That's the atmosphere. That's the energy. That's what I want to see from the Euros. Spectacular video. I mean, that was absolutely brilliant. This right here is the Scotland fans. And as you can hear, they're singing, you know, Scotland's on fire. Your defense is terrified. Scotland fans were brilliant buckets throughout this competition.
They really were. And I'm glad the fans were brilliant because the team was not. But look at that. I mean, again, this is what it's about. This is what we're celebrating. The fact that all these countries get to come together and support the beautiful game and scream and cheer and get rowdy and just support their lads, man. I love this. I haven't seen this one yet, and this makes me happy.
This is the Dutch fans going links, 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 Rex, Rex, Rex. I mean, going left and right. What do you think about this one?
This was the first one I saw of any of the Euro videos, dude, and this got me so hyped for the entire competition. I was a Netherlands fan for about 30 seconds before I had to snap back and go, whoa, wait a minute, no, it's not my team, but come on, you can't beat that.
It is fucking phenomenal. I absolutely love this one because it's just like a street of like Dutch fans that just go all the way back there. Clearly, producer Jeff enjoying the Mr. Saxophone. I can't get enough of this. When I watch this video, I just love it because everybody loves music. They love football. They want to be together, and the Euros has definitely given us that as well. It's been absolutely brilliant to see, man. That is awesome. I love it. Those videos I can't get enough of. This is why we love the game. The loyal listeners, the supporters of our game. It's brilliant, and the Euros is not disappointed because it's been outstanding. Has there been a particular fan group that's got your attention more than another that you've actually enjoyed watching or laughing at?
It really has been the Dutch for me. When I first saw that left, 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 right, right, right video, and you saw guys in the back holding busts of like Dutch legends as well, of like Johan Cruyff and stuff like that, and just have the time of their lives. Like that was the one that got me. And then you can't beat the sax guy. I mean, I've seen different videos of him at like every single match at every stadium doing Rihanna, Beyonce, like whatever songs they need. You can't beat that, man.
Oh man, that is absolutely brilliant. I honestly, I love seeing that video. I love listening to that song. I did see that this guy was a German saxophone player. He's been obviously all over social media. This was in Frankfurt, this video that was taking place. But he's a professional musician, and he's got 80,000 subscribers on YouTube and 456,000 followers on TikTok. So he's actually somebody, and I love to see that. He's someone who's come out and decided to share his talent and get fans absolutely G'd up. It's brilliant. Amazing. Scottish fans will always go down in history for me. They're there to have a party. They don't care about anything else but have a party. If their team wins, loses, or draws, it doesn't matter. I watched a great video with Sir Alex Ferguson before the competition saying, now, support our boys whether we win, lose, or draw. He should have just said draw or lose, because that's exactly what the team did do in this competition. But Sir Alex Ferguson saying, I know you're all going to have a party, was exactly all they needed. Because before we get the hell out of here, I know you've been pretty active on Twitter and you've been very active on Dub Club. Now, I don't know what Dub Club is, so I'd like you to explain a little bit more what it is. Tell us how successful you've been at it, because I know you've got a lot of people following you now, and you're having a lot of success with it as well.
It's been a lot of fun. Dub Club is a prescription. That's not the word. Subscription service. You can see that I totally know what I'm doing. Yeah, advertising this service. No, it's for me. It's a premium service that allows me to give out live plays in a more just efficient manner. What it does is you download the Dub Club app, and when I post on the app, it will immediately text you. And so I can say, hey, I am live betting this match in Latvia. I'm taking Riga to score in the first half. It is currently the 25th minute. You've got 15 minutes to play this, and you will get a text notification exactly what that wager is. So whether you're in the bathroom, in a meeting, wherever you might be, you can put that in live action. Where back when I did Patreon and other services, I couldn't access that mobily. So I had to be at my computer at home. It would send you an email, and hopefully you got that at time. Now it just gives you a notification directly to your phone. So this is a service that I'm experimenting with that lets me kind of more efficiently give people live plays. It can be good, it can be bad, it can be a little bit addicting. So I definitely have to be careful with it, Ian. But for me, it's just trying to get better content to the people that want more footy content. That's more than just what we're doing on shows, and it is more of kind of a 24/7 service almost.
Yeah, listen, Stoppage Time is going to remain free for all our loyal listeners out there. Buckets will always bring out his best plays on Stoppage Time, but he does have extra plays, and live betting is where it's at. We're always trying to find a way, an avenue as which direction we can take our show. But if you want to help Buckets out, if you want to follow his journey, if you want to get those live plays, because we know so many of the loyal listeners do, where can people find you on Dub Club? How can they subscribe? What does it cost? Maybe just go into a bit of detail, because there's a lot of loyal listeners out there who are watching this who might want to jump on board with the Dub Club Club.
So the Dub Club, I think that's what we call it. The club, the Dub Club. Woo! Doing great, John. The Dub Club you can find at dubclub.com, and you just Dub Club Bucket John. It'll pop up for you. It's $20 a month for the subscription service. It'll get you an average of 5 to 9 plays a day live based on what content we have. When we get to like end of July, that will slow down. But trust me, when we get to European leagues back in August, I had days where I bet 20 times a day. You just got to be responsible. Obviously, we're being careful, but it's $20 a month. If you use the code that I will make here to make sure that the Stoppage Time guys are taken care of, it'll drop that to 10 for your first month. We'll do some kind of fee there just to help out all the loyal listeners that do want to support that. But again, there's no pressure to, because you're always going to get the free content here on Stoppage Time. This is just for the people that want a little bit extra in the live space.
Yeah, we'll have producer Jeff put that down in the description there, where people can go and join you on Dub Club as well. And listen, I'm proud of you. Obviously, Buckets is doing his best here. We're not paying Buckets to do this here, Stoppage Time. We don't have a partner just yet for Stoppage Time. So we're doing this out of the joy of our hearts, and because we want to produce free content for people out there, the loyal listeners. We want to give you exactly what you deserve, and that is the best soccer betting content imaginable, with a bit of entertainment on the side. But if you're looking for extra plays, and you're looking to even just support our boy Buckets, because it's pretty impressive, man. There's a lot of people following you already. I'm sure you're making some nice coin there, and it's keeping you afloat right now very comfortably, my boy Buckets. So I want to say I'm very proud of you as well, because it's not easy in this world to maintain, and for you to find a way that you can still be a part of our show and basically do this out of the joy of your heart. I'm proud of you. I really am. So everybody out there, go follow our boy Buckets on Dub Club and get those live plays. And maybe out there, Buckets, when the domestic seasons get on board, I'm going to start throwing you a live play or two that you can put out to your subscribers on
Absolutely.
there as well. We also need everybody out there, the loyal listeners, to subscribe to our channel, Stoppage Time. The YouTube numbers are continuing to grow. Obviously, we've taken a bit of a break, but we're doing pretty well. We still want to try and get to 5K subs as soon as we possibly can. That would be pretty awesome. So if you're not following, you're not subscribed, please make sure you do so already. Follow on social media. We are pretty active on Twitter. We've got over 4,400 followers on Twitter. Can we get that to 5K? Please make sure you're sharing the show as much as you possibly can, because that means the world to us. And for the love of God, please fucking comment on our show, Stoppage Time, because that makes me happy more than anything else. Buckets, any messages as to how active you're going to be with Twitter, with TikTok, with Instagram, on our social media? Because I know obviously the Dub Club is where it's at right now for you personally, but Stoppage Time is your real project going forward.
Stoppage Time is my baby. I am not kidding where I said if the choice was like to do Stoppage Time, Stoppage Time will always be my priority. I would rather work 40 hours a week pushing carts at Costco and still being able to do Stoppage Time than living comfortably without Stoppage Time. So now that I've had a break, I've had a chance to kind of regroup mentally and physically, take care of myself, I'm going to be on social medias and annoying, a frustrating amount to everyone. You will not stop seeing this pretty little mug here across everything. So just get ready for that, because I think it's going to be fun. That's all I'm saying.
And I can promise every single one of you loyal listeners out there that I'm going to keep on his tail, and I'm going to make sure that he follows up with that John Bucketimer, because social media is where it's at for us, and obviously YouTube is where you will catch our show. We're going to try and bring one a week back to every one of you, regardless of what's happening between now and the domestic seasons returning. We will be here. So we're going to go through the knockout stages. We'll be here with you all the way through the knockouts. We'll try to get exactly one show out to you a week. Producer Jeff has been pretty active as well. He's been busy doing a lot of games. He's been traveling, doing whatever he does and enjoying the world. But we're back now, and we're back in a big way. So please make sure everybody out there bet responsibly. We gave out a lot of plays right there Obviously, most of them from buckets. I gave one out as well. Not much in detail, but I wanted to give one for you all. There's a lot of action. Join the Dub Club. That's where you can find some extra action if you're looking for some live plays from our boy Buckets, because he is very active on there. This is what he does for a living. So make sure you are following him. And just like he's going to do on the Dub Club, just like we are going to do right here on Stoppage Time, we're going to have success. We're going to win. We're going to make money. We're going to have fun. And we're going to entertain. But most importantly, you know what we're going to do? We're going to absolutely have it!
Stoppage time.
It's so damn